Hello, and welcome to Senior Bitches, where we celebrate badass ladies, and some gents too, who are changing the weather around aging and not going gently into that good night. Now today, I have on the show one of my favorite warriors, who I connected with about 10 years ago when a bizarre set of circumstances bonded us as soul sisters. We had something that happened to both of us. It was so random and so weird and so unique that only a handful of people in the whole world could relate to what we were going through. It was like this parallel universe that we both experienced something so specific that changed our lives forever. I met her in 2014 when she invited me to be a guest on her fabulous podcast after I reached out to her through social media and said we should really meet. And I kind of fell in love with her then. She's kick-ass smart. She's insightful, she's a character to the nth degree, and a creator of some of the best reality TV ever. Shit goes down when she's around. I know hundreds and hundreds of thousands of you have been following her roller coaster journey, as have I, and I can tell you from personal experience a few things. She's a great mom. She loves her kids more than anything and will hustle to the highest order to take care of a family. So I am thrilled today to have her on my podcast, Senior Bitches, one of the best housewives ever, an icon, according to me and my son, Jack. My friend, the always entertaining and, slightly controversial Brandi Glanville. Slightly.
I was going to say slightly. More than
Completely?
Completely, pretty much. At this point,
Yes.
I feel like, yeah, I embody all of it. All the controversy is me.
You do. All the complications. You embody the whole thing. So I want to go back to when I reached out to you and what we had in common. I went first in 2005, and then you went in 2008. And this is what we had in common. A cheesy Lifetime movie, an on-set romance that would publicly and personally implode our lives. The same connection.
Yeah.
Is that not bizarre?
Well, I mean, I think it's fair to, we have to also say, we were married with children. We have the same exact, almost lifestyles. We were married with children, and our actor husbands hooked up with their actor co-stars and blew up our fucking lives. I'm not going to say ruined because we're okay, right?
Blew up.
Having health issues and my whole face is swollen, so I'm going through it. But listen, I mean, we're here, we're powerful, and we got here.
I know. And I, there was so many nights when I wanted to pick up the phone and call somebody and go, like, have you ever had your ex-husband do a Lifetime movie in Canada, a 3-week movie shoot, and leave them for your co-star? Like, has that happened to you? Like, there was nobody I could reach out to except you. And I followed your story for years before I reached out to you.
You didn't have Angelina Jolie's phone number?
I did not. She was not on speed dial.
Aniston. So that's what you should have called.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston. But it was just to have your personal life and your public persona blow up all at the same time. It was surreal. I found it very difficult, quite frankly.
I don't think that there's a woman out there that can, I mean, now that like every housewife is going through public divorces, it's actually kind of like, I want to say they finally get it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just didn't get it before. And it's so hard to get divorced as it is without it being, back in the day for us, it was tabloids. Now it's blogs and on the internet. I mean, I would prefer if it was the internet back in the day, just the internet, because my kids wouldn't have seen it in the markets. And wait, is that daddy? Why is daddy with that girl on that cover? I'm like, oh, they're doing a movie. Yeah, we definitely had parallel life blow up situations. And we found each other. And I actually just did Tori Spelling's podcast. And I told you I was going to do it.
Yeah, you're a good girl. You're straightforward. You got in touch with me and you said, I'm going to do this podcast, which I really appreciated.
Yes. I first canceled because my face was so swollen. And then that morning, my dog had an emergency and I had to take her to the vet and leave her. My son came to meet me. So I, on my way to Tori's podcast, was already a little riled up.
Oh boy.
Mood. So that's my dog barking. And he's coughing because he is old.
It's okay. We all are. Don't worry about it.
Hey, speak for yourself. I'm taking back the 2 years from COVID, and I'm taking back the
Fair.
last 2 years, so I'm actually only gonna be 48. So it's
I believe you.
yeah,
I believe you.
once I get
How old do you
healthy
think I am? How old do you think I am?
I think we're probably
You know, probably.
50, 52.
I'm 62.
Shut up.
Biatch, I'm 62.
Oh, you're old.
Seriously, thank you so much. Okay, so you're on your way to the podcast. You're kind of like not in the
Already
greatest
I
mood. So
already
so take us through it.
Okay, so I told a manager, I go, "I don't understand why Tori wants me to do her podcast, like, I don't like her. I don't
Uh-huh.
it's not gonna go well." I said, "I don't
Uh-huh.
like," but they kept asking, and I was like, "Okay, I'll do it, but she's not gonna like what I have to say." And so my manager was like, "You're gonna be fine." And I get there, and I think I obviously was upset for you, but I took a little bit of my own anger out on her. Um,
Okay.
and I left the situation honestly feeling sorry for her in a way. Well, not no, no, no,
Okay.
not in the way for what she did. No, not for that. But for where she's at, because you and I are good. I mean, besides this health
Yeah.
issue, I don't think she's in a good place. Like, I don't think this all turned out the way she wanted it to or thought it would. You know, it's pretty grim. I'm like, you were a bitch the first time I met you, and do you regret what you did? Like, she's she's a broken person right now, and that is what I felt like I was being really hard on her, and I don't think she can handle it. And I know that you
Did my name come up? Did my name come up?
first. You know that Mary Jo and I are friends, right? Like, why am I here? And she's like, "Oh, right, she reached out to you?" I'm like, "I don't remember if it was her or me, but it was a long time ago, and she's been great to me, and she got me this skincare deal, and then she's helping me look for a place right now, and, like, we've always stayed connected." I go, "But she never talks about you because you don't." So, I think that was kind of
Yeah.
like it was kind of like, "Oh, really? Okay." I go, as far as I know, you guys are fine." Like, I mean, because you don't talk about her. Um,
No.
so yeah, it was just interesting. It was almost like reliving the Eddie and Leanne stuff over again and then finding some stuff out about your and Dean's situation that I
Yeah.
know about, like the rehab and all. She kind of threw him under the bus a little, but I mean,
Oh my God. I think she called him publicly on her podcast, in her very first podcast, and told him that she wanted a divorce. But, like, and he didn't know, or I didn't listen to it, but I heard about it. But isn't it like when you're in that bubble, right? And we're not in it anymore. And that's thank God. But when you're in that weird bubble and that universe, it seems like that's all you see is the publicity around it. And like it seeps into your bones. It's so invasive, right? It feels so good to be out of
that's what I'm
it.
saying. That's what she's going through now, what we went through then. I said, "Do you feel like you would do it over again? Do you have like, do you feel like if it," she's like, "Yeah, because of the kids." And but that's what I like. I was like, okay, she can't say no because she has 5 kids with him. Um, but I would have some remorse about the way it went down. I mean, if I were her or Leanne. I still have
Yeah.
not had the chance to get Leanne on my podcast. She doesn't want to do it, even though we're on good terms. And I wouldn't destroy her life like she did mine. Kidding.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Well,
Yeah. I mean,
you guys, this is
oops, that slipped out.
side is fucked up. So
You still look amazing. Honestly, you can't even tell. So we both went through this thing. And so like, were you prepared for the public nature of it? Because the public nature is like an extra kick in the ass because I think it doesn't allow you to process a private part, which is so painful because you're publicly always battling. Like, were you prepared for that? Like, did you feel
how
like
does
thrown to the wolves?
well, how does one prepare? Number one,
Well, right,
but
right.
I didn't have a choice, and I'm always in that like fight or flight mode. It seems my
Yeah.
divorce even right now, but Eddie knew he married a fighter, so I had no way to navigate when they're out there, publicly holding hands and it's in People Magazine and People Magazine calls me, I'm gonna have something to say about it. So,
You are.
yeah, I'm like, I was going to war. Like, I did not care. And honestly, it made it easier for me rather than, a lot of people try to hide divorce and cheating and they're embarrassed about it. And it's not, they don't cheat because of us. They cheat because of them. And there's nothing to be embarrassed about. It happens to pretty much everyone I know. Um,
Yeah.
so I just went full speed ahead with, fighting back. And I didn't have the luxury of being embarrassed and hiding it because it was everywhere and I was getting
Exactly.
phone calls to my house, and by choice they were going out in public and making, they were almost going like nah 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 nah, and sorry, I'm not a wallflower, so you get what you get.
Well, it's like poking the bear. So I remember being one day, in the supermarket, to your point, right, with the tabloids. And on the cover of People magazine was my ex-husband's secret Fiji wedding. Nobody was invited, but People magazine happened to cover it in 35 pages. So I got to see that, and I went and just sat in the park. And the other thing was, they did a TV show right away celebrating their love. So I would sort of just walk around the world going, there's a message here, like, but I fought behind the scenes. I got a great lawyer.
Yeah.
Like I fought for my kids. Like
I did
I,
not. I went down, you took the high road, I took the dirt road, and I
well, I've taken the low road.
no,
I've
I
taken
don't,
it several
listen, I
times.
would do it again the same way. I don't, I mean, I've grown a lot, but, like, in that moment, who I was then, I thought I was with the love of my life, and my life blew up. The carpet got ripped out from underneath me. I was 36. I did not have an education, didn't know what I was gonna do. I thought I was gonna be with Eddie forever, and I was ready to fight. I was like, "I'm fighting, like, you can have my husband, but you are not getting my fucking kids, and I will kill
Yeah.
you." Um,
Yeah, that's what I did. I did it through the courts, and I had my own ways, trust me, of doing it. But it had to get done. Um, but just amazing to have it just play out that way, right? Like just
I mean, you like you can't write that shit. I did in my book, drinking and tweeting. I mean, it was,
drinking and tweeting, which I loved. Yeah.
thank you, but it was all about my divorce and, like, what was I gonna do? And ultimately,
I always got the impression, and I could be totally wrong about this. This is what I meant to say, that you always wanted to be a mom. Like it seemed to me like, I think you even told me, you just wanted to be a mom and raise kids and be a great wife. And that was the trajectory that you wanted.
I didn't have any ambition, like, as far as I was modeling. It was great. I'd seen the world. I lived in Europe for 6 years. I'd been everywhere. I'd done everything. At that point, I met the love of my life, and I was happy being the woman behind the man, cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and raising the boys, and just, like, that was my life. That's what I wanted. And so that in itself got taken away from me, not just the heartbreak and then eventually my children half of the time. Um, it was almost like it was nice to be shaken. The only I can take this, like, the good from it is that maybe my life was meant to be more. Maybe I was supposed to write that book. I was supposed to fight for,
New York bestseller, best-selling author.
yes, 2 times over.
For somebody with no ambition, best-selling author in the New York Times. Like that's pretty fucking awesome.
Well, thank you. I feel like with Eddie, like, in a relationship, I always feel like there can only be one star, and I was always happy.
Picture in the frame.
Yeah, I was always happy to let it be him, and I just didn't want him. I just wanted to be his wife, and I was happy as long
Yeah.
as he was happy, and that's not a life. I mean, honestly, like, had we gotten to the point where we are now, I would probably be wondering what I would have done if I hadn't met Eddie. What would I be? What would I have gone to school? What would I be doing? So, as much as it was a horrible heartbreak, and it will forever be a part of my story, and I'm allowed to talk about it for the rest of my life if I want to. I don't always want to, but I think everything happens for a reason.
I do too. And what comes out of it and the strength and resilience and all that stuff that we've garnered, like I don't regret any of it. And, at the same time, or just shortly after, you're doing The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, right? So you start going on that show. Like if I would have diarrhea every day being around those women, I would be so nervous. They are so formidable.
For me.
And so you've got all this stuff going on, like privately, and you're dealing with these biatches. And was that show, like, did it relieve some of the pressure? Did it add to the pressure? Was it kind of an escape to be on that show? Or what was that? How did you navigate all of that?
So that's a great question. It's mostly just Chardonnay.
Oh, good girl. Good.
No, I mean, they found me because I was so outspoken in the tabloids that the producers saw me in all of these magazines and were like, we need this girl. She's about to hit rock bottom. And I remember
Woo!
the producers was like, why did you guys hire me? And they're like, because you said you have nothing to lose. And I'm like, oh God, okay, great. So I, out of my divorce, it got me this job that put me into this realm of reality television, which I never in a million years thought I would find myself on, nor did I seek it out. They found me. So that I think that's the difference. I feel like I know so many women that want to do it and they think it's just going to be easy. I'm like, you guys, be careful what you wish for. Like people are going to jail, they're getting divorced. It's lives at this point.
A lot of shit goes down in Sprinter vans, I've noticed in a lot of the franchises and stuff. I was asked to do the Housewives of Toronto,
Oh, I think
but I turned it down. I turned it down at the time. Now, if they came back, I might do it again, but I
you're
but I
really
turned it
calm
down.
though. You don't need, you're like so logical. And I'm like that knee jerk reaction. People have my number. I'm going to react. I cannot change my number. I have tried lots of therapy. It's just who I am to this point. I feel like you're way more composed and you might be boring TV for housewives. We need to,
Oh, you know what? You never know.
ah,
There might be a psychotic side to me
I
that could
want to
come
see it
out.
then. Get you on there. I just don't, I feel like there's not anything that anyone could do or say that would be worse than what you've already gone through. And you've held yourself so together. I mean, and
Oh, that's
everyone,
sweet.
no, you're always like elegant and composed, where I'm like, fuck you. And
They could talk about my jail time and my stalking and stuff, but that's a whole different episode. We don't need to go into
oh,
that
geez, I
today.
didn't know that. Now I think I like you more.
I did a night in prison, baby. So we'll talk about that the next thing. It was lasagna night. Um, but what I loved about watching you on the show, you were chaotic, but you were very joyful. You were very joyful to watch. Even though there was a lot going on, I always found you kind of a positive light in the show.
Well, I try, like, even now, like, with everything happening, I haven't worked in 2 years. I haven't had sex in 2 years. I'm trying to figure out what is going on.
A year and a half for me, a year and a half.
That's nuts. What's going on with my health?
Yeah.
Like I'm fighting against cancel culture. I'm doing all of these things that I still joke. I feel I have to find humor in things or I would be in a straitjacket. I that is my coping mechanism is humor. So
Oh, me
I
too.
have to
Me
make it
too.
funny. Otherwise it's fucking tragic.
I know it seriously is. And so, what's it like for you dealing with like the Bravo machine in the Andy Cohen universe? Like, what is that going to sustain? I just feel like that the empire is going to burn, but maybe that's hyperbolic. But that, wow, how have they sustained that? And what they do is just unbelievable to me.
I honestly I think it's definitely it's gonna have its time for sure. Because if you like the whole thing is the producers want you to be unhinged and act crazy. And now they're adding in like components like HR, which we had never had on a housewife show. Our producers are telling you to do one thing and then you're getting in trouble for doing what the producers are telling you to do. So I have a feeling that reality TV is gonna get it has its time, like, it's gonna run out. You can't continue to have people off like, unhinged, and then just say, "Okay, you're in trouble for being unhinged," even though that's what we told you to do. So, someone's gonna have to take some accountability somewhere.
It's a reckoning. It's got to be a reckoning because they ply all these people with alcohol and whatever to make them vulnerable and film it. And the Bravo universe has gotten away with it. But these lawsuits that are coming up, I'm really curious because, I mean, it is a mainstay in our culture, right? The housewives are like a huge franchise, massive.
It's gotten to the point though where I will watch or some of them. I keep on putting this side back with not so swollen side. Maybe I should just do this side.
It looks good. Like it looks like you've just had like a nice facial or something.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it looks full. It looks full.
What is that?
I'm not
I
sure.
don't know either.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It is what it is. Yeah, I just don't see how now everyone's suing everyone and you're not protected on the show. I've been sued from the show before, cost me $500,000. They it's the Wild West reality right now. So
Yeah.
they're gonna have to rein it in or take some accountability or pay some people off because they're ruining lives. And
Well, I
people
can imagine the skeletons in those closets. Like, there's no way with the execs and everything that went on in Bravo, like the shit that must have gone down that has somehow been protected. I'm always thinking that's going to come forward, maybe in one of the lawsuits or something, or maybe people are just way too scared
but no, that's
of retaliation.
like it's not just Bravo. It's Bravo, NBC, Universal, Warner Brothers.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm on the outs with all of those people. Warner Brothers is kind
It's a
of
big group.
time I watch the television, it's Universal or Warner Brothers, and I'm like, I'm never gonna work again for something I didn't do. And everyone else just gets to keep moving on. And it's so frustrating because people often say to me how resilient I am. And I don't want to be resilient anymore. I want fairness. I want to be treated fairly and I want to cruise a little bit. Just like give me a second to catch my breath before you do something horrible to me again. I mean, and listen, I'm partly responsible because I definitely play ball, but I was told by the head of Bravo, we love what you did on Girls Trip, the first one. You know, it was our highest rated show. Go do it again. That's why they hired me again. And now I'm in trouble for it. So it's just, I think as their rules change, they are taking it out on the talent, which they don't even consider us workers. In our contracts, we're not even workers. So, they can work us 20 hours in a day and get us working me drunk and high. They don't have to feed us and they will just get their show and it doesn't matter whose life is ruined.
Well, also, like, especially with you, like, you're one of the people in the forefront, I personally think, that they've really used because you're so good at what you do and you bring so much drama and interest and energy and give them great ratings and give them great TV. And you're right, they didn't seem to have your back. And I won't go into it, but I heard through people I know, because I don't want to get you in trouble,
Yeah.
about that episode, The Ultimate Girls Trip 2, 3, whatever it was, said, this is what they told me. They can't sue me. She did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Like, we were there. Like, this, what the fuck is this? This is like psychotic. Like, this was a setup
Right.
and then another setup after,
I think
you know?
for all of their HR drama that they had just announced that they were changing their alcohol rules, which is a joke. There's always alcohol available. They're always saying, get this party, get this party started, get this person drunk, see if she'll do a shot. They're just telling people what they want to hear and they're not changing anything. So it's unfortunate. I do my job, I know the assignment, and I feel like I work the hardest, get paid the least, and now this whole cancel thing and then the health thing, I feel like ultimately I'm being tested. Like I lost everything all at once, and
Yeah.
I don't know for the first time if I'm resilient. I don't know if I don't like that word anymore because that means I have to go through shit to get there. And I've been
Yeah.
through shit. I've been through a lot of shit.
No, it's true. It's true you have. And resilience, or when people say to you, oh, you're a strong woman, you want to say, can you just go fuck yourself? I'm so sick of being a strong woman
Yeah.
and handling all this stuff all the time. I don't want to handle it. I want my value to be recognized. And I think you bring huge value to that franchise. You're a valuable like commodity. And again, the cancel culture and covering your ass, like, I believe you'll come out of this better. I do you think they're ever going to air that series? Do you think the Ultimate Girls Trip will get aired?
Well, I don't think they can because Caroline has a lawsuit against them, and if if I'm not guilty and she's saying something happened, then they're guilty. So, in protection of themselves, I don't think they will. But I would at this point, I don't even want it to air. I wanted it to air in the beginning, but at this point, I feel like everything, every tiny detail will be picked apart, and it's just I don't know if it'll air.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe they will. Who knows?
That's like gold to them. That's like ratings gold to them. An abrupt ending like both Brandy's marriage and my marriage. Honestly, everything is in retrograde. I was talking to Brandi, her computer blew up, then her phone went, then she had sound issues in her dog, and God bless her, she tried to get through the podcast. And I just feel for her so much. She's going through so much right now, and she is so resilient, like she talked about in the podcast. But she has so much on her plate. But here's the thing that I said at the beginning, which I think is really interesting when I described her. She is a mom first and foremost. So she actually exited the program to go pick up her son Jake because he doesn't have his driver's license yet. So kudos to her. I love speaking to her, getting, information on what she's doing now. But she is a warrior. You got to follow her. You got to support her. She's gone up against some big personalities and she's still standing. And I just think she's a great gal and a total blast. And it kind of makes sense with the day that she was having. She was just talking to her lawyer on the phone before she did the podcast so graciously that she just blanked out. So I know she's picking up her son right now. And if things go the right way, we might have another 5 or 10 minutes of her at the end of the podcast. But we love spending time with her today. She really is a wonderful person, and I wish her the best. And she'll come back on again. She'll come back on again. We didn't get into aging in Hollywood and what's going on with her face and the men she's dated. And by the way, follow the podcast wherever you like to listen. And you can also subscribe. I can say that word. My producer thinks I can't, but I can say subscribe to Senior Bitches. Join me as I dare to age. We'll keep on having fun. And we have all Brandi's details and links in the show notes. So go to those to get the most update information on what's going on with her.